Guys, this is Adam. This is my second video. Today I'm going to be talking about the need to persevere and what real hard work actually fucking means in this industry. If you're an actor and a filmmaker or even a cinematographer, you are going to encounter some of the most stressful and difficult environments you can film in. For instance, one of the short films I recently directed and acted in, we had to go to one of the mountains near Mount Buller up in Mansfield, and it was this little shack called Tomahawk Hut, and the only way you could get up to this place was with snow chains. It was a 40-minute drive from the base of the mountain up to the shack that we were filming in. Then we needed to account for stuff like catering, toilets, power, camera, the set, costumes, etc. Now that's a lot even for a short film, let alone to direct, let alone to also act, let alone to also have to produce and handle that. It's a lot. It requires great planning and incredible resilience. Now, if you like safety and comfort, let me tell you this. This is not the industry for you. It's not. If you want to create a film, it is going to be painful. It might even be insufferable at times. But that's the thing. You've chosen to do this. Every single project is going to take something from you. It's also going to give you something back. Some of the hardest projects I've ever worked on, the most stressful, were the ones that helped me understand my strength, my resilience, my ability to endure in tough times. And what that has done is it's created and strengthened my character as a human being, because now I don't worry about stuff going wrong. I don't have, well, actually I do, but not to the extent most people do. I don't freak out when someone's 30 minutes late. I don't stress when, we're missing a cable. The amount of ridiculous crap that other people tell me, is going wrong with their jobs, that gets sorted so easily for me. Like, a lot of the times, people have real issues communicating, sucking up what they have to suck up, and finally properly planning and training. The rest of it's just effort. You want to sit there and complain at your boss, you don't get along with him, he doesn't listen to you. Have you tried actually speaking to him? See, the issues most people have are child's play to me. And the issues that I have are going to be child's play to someone else. I'm not going to sit here and talk about how hard it is to make a short film up in the snow when I know that there's a neuroscientist who's trying to help someone with their CTE from having too many concussions in a football career. Like, that is an issue. The things that I've got going on in my projects are not that big in comparison. Now, why I'm saying all of this is that the more you work on difficult projects, the more you persevere, the more you have to overcome, that breeds real character. I don't want easy shoots. I want hard shoots. One of the things I do as a freelancer is I work in the events industry as an audio-visual tech, also as a bump-in, bump-out hand, also as a camera operator. Now, those are stressful jobs. We have to get, sometimes, 8 hours worth of work done in 4 hours. No one's holding my hand. I'm not going to bitch about it. I got to suck it up and get it done, because that's the professional thing to do. Nobody wants to hear about your complaints when you're working a tough job, when you ask for that tough job. I like that. I like being physically exhausted by the end of the day. I like having to put in my time and effort. I like that. Because at the end of the day, I feel like a stronger person the next day for having done that work. I take pride in what I do. This is super important. If you have a job, an acting gig, you have a film, you're contracted to do a wedding, and it turns to be a complete and utter shitfest, you finish your commitment, and you do it with a smile on your face, and you grit your teeth and suck it up. Because nobody wants to see your shit-ass attitude. Nobody wants to see that. If you're paid, be a professional. Where you need to understand you have control is in how you're reacting to a stressful environment. Right? You don't want to work with a person again? Don't work with them. Don't work with them. Don't work with that person. You're not obligated to say yes. That's learning. You're vetting who you want to work with consistently. Your ability to suck things up and endure and move on is probably one of, if not the most important things that you can do. You need to learn your lines no matter how difficult it is. No matter how crazy your schedule is. You got to do it. You got to get your shot listing done. You got to get your pre-production stuff done. Doesn't matter how little time you have or how little resources you've got, you got to get that done. You're working with a new piece of equipment, you better know how it works. You better commit the time it needs to take to understand you better take that time to understand how you need to use that recorder. If you don't know how to use an external recorder, a specific type, and your client is asking for 4K delivery, or they're asking for 200 frames per second, or 120 frames per second, and you don't know how to operate it, don't come to the job not knowing it. Don't come. Don't go to that job. Turn that fucking job down. Let someone else do it with the skills that they have. It's that simple. That's simple, man. The moment you start to just accept that the job is difficult, you are going to have the strength and resiliency you need to get through things and to understand how to commit more of yourself into the things that are important, like the lighting, like the camera work, like your acting, like connecting to another human being. You got to go the path of least resistance on this. I know so many people who just make their jobs more difficult because they just don't know how to plan properly. They don't know. They don't get it. They don't understand. And it sucks. It sucks for them. And you know what? I'm going to get more work than they will. Someone else is going to get more work than they will. Because nobody wants to have someone with a shitty attitude on their set. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants a shitty attitude. Now, if you need to kick up a fuss to get people to listen to you after you've consistently tried to communicate an issue with them, then yeah, that's warranted then. But nobody wants a shit attitude. Nobody wants a shit attitude. I'm starting to learn that and starting to reevaluate how I react to things more and more now. More and more. There's a time to get the work done, and there's a time when to kick up a fuss. 80% of the time, something happens. I have the choice. I have a legitimate choice of not reacting in a negative way because it's not going to help the outcome out. The other 20% of the time, I think it's warranted. That's the continuous character growth I have as an artist. How I react to things. Because it actually does take a lot of energy to react in a negative way, when that energy could just simply go to communicating to someone or just sitting and thinking about the issue, coming up with a solution, and then implementing it. You waste less time. You step on people's toes less. You don't demoralize the team around you. You build them up. You become a powerful asset that people want to consistently hire. One of my really good friends, talented cinematographer, consistently gets hired because his brand is a hard-working, positive guy who always wants to find out what the solution to a problem is, even if he hasn't encountered that problem before, even if he doesn't have the experience. It just comes on the job. That's learning. Adapt. You gotta do that. You've got to fucking do that. If you don't fucking do that, like, it's just one more reason for someone not to cast you. One more reason for someone not to hire you. In fact, do me a favor. Next job you get, keep stock of who the most negative person in the room is. Tell yourself this question: would I hire them? Would you? Maybe, if they're really fucking talented. What if they're just mediocre? What then? What are you gonna do then? These are the things we have to think about. It's not just a technical thing. It's not just a talent thing. It's a character thing. You've got to have all in alignment. Your technical, your character, your talent, the creative stuff. Gotta have it all in alignment. It's not just one or the other. That's my lesson for today. Have a think about it all and see how it applies to your career.